Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 21st chapter. My son, hast thou sinned? Do so no more, but ask pardon for thy former sins. So if you've sinned, repent, right, and ask for forgiveness for any things you may have done in transgression in the past. Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee, right? If you look, this and sin is the enticement of sin here, right? So that temptation, flee from it. If you see a place where, you know how it can end up, right? Disappear, okay? Completely avoid it. Let's say, for example, you're whatever setting it is, job, work, wherever, and you know a woman there is married, but she's constantly trying to, entice you. That is a face of a serpent, because you know what can happen, right? If she invites you out and all those, you got to watch out, because if you come too near to it, right, to that opportunity, that temptation, it's gonna bite you, right? Eventually, you're gonna fall prey to it. And the teeth thereof are the teeth of a lion. If you're in a lion's den, chances of you escaping are slim to none. So if you go and put yourself in the den of sin, yeah, chances of you escaping are slim to none. So don't put yourself there. That's how you escape. How do you protect yourself from a lion? Don't end up in a lion's den. It says here, slaying the souls of men. All iniquity is as a two-edged sword, the wounds whereof cannot be healed. Right, that's how deadly or dangerous iniquity is, and so you have to watch against that. Now the wounds of iniquity, through mercy of the Lord, you do have a way back, but generally speaking, you don't want to get pricked or stabbed by iniquity. To terrify and do wrong will waste riches. Thus the house of proud men shall be made desolate. Read down the GNTD. It says, if a person is insolent and arrogant, he may lose everything he has. A prayer out of a poor man's mouth reacheth the ears of God, and his judgment cometh speedily, right? That is that justice for him. He that hateth, and that's why the scriptures tell you, don't offend a poor man lest he curse you in the bitterness of his soul, because his prayer was going to come to the Most High, and the Most High is going to, make good on it. He that hateth to be reproved is in the way of sinners. Yeah, if you don't reproving is for your correction. So if you're going astray and you hate to hear correction, where are you going to stay? You're going to stay in the way of sinners. But he that he that feareth the Lord will repent from his heart. See, once he is reproved, he's going to repent. He's going to humble down. He's going to feel sorrowful. He's going to ask for forgiveness, and he's going to stop. He's not going to do it again. An eloquent man is known far and near, but a man of understanding knoweth when he slippeth. Verse 7 says, someone may be famous as a good speaker, but when he is wrong, a sensible person will detect it. See, because a sensible person, they have that keen ears, right, and a sharp mind. He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial. Like today, you would say you're digging your own grave. That's what it's like if you're building your house with somebody else's money. The congregation of the wicked is like tow or towel wrapped together. Now, towel or tow is the equivalent of like flax, right, or like hemp fibers, which are highly flammable. Okay, and so they can very quickly burn. So here, when the congregation, the joining of the wicked is like that, meaning that it's one spark away from being destroyed, and the end of them, look at that, is a flame of fire to destroy to destroy them. That's all it takes. The way of sinners is made plain with stones, but at the end thereof is a pit of hell. Plain with stones, meaning like it's like a road that's paved, right? It's smoothly paved. Yahushua said it another way when he said it is broad, right? It's a way that leadeth to destruction. It says here, but the end thereof is a pit of hell, right? It leads to death. He that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof, and the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom. He that is not wise will not be taught, but there is a wisdom. And yeah, it says, the scriptures tell you that, was it, reprove a wise man and he will increase in learning. But if you're not wise, you won't be taught. You won't understand the value of what it is you're hearing, to let alone lay it to your heart. But there is a wisdom which multiplieth bitterness. Okay, let's read that in the GNTD. It says, you have to be intelligent to learn anything, but there is such a thing as just pretending to be intelligent, which only makes people bitter. And that's the pseudo wisdom. The knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, and his counsel, right? Because remember, it says, he that is not wise will not be taught, but he that is wise, they will be taught, and they will increase in learning. See, so their knowledge, the knowledge of a wise man will abound like a flood, and his counsel is like a pure fountain of life. Because he knows what, his advice is life-saving. It brings, the relief of your trouble. You may not know what to do. You're going through a hard time, and you hear such sound advice. You're like, damn, you take it and it delivers you from whatever you're going through. The inner parts of a fool are like a broken vessel. He will not hold, or he will hold no knowledge as long as he liveth. A broken vessel is always going to leak. Okay, if you have like a pot and it breaks and you try to put it together, there's no way. It's not going to hold water. It's always going to leak. That's what it's like, the mind of a fool. He's not going to hold any knowledge. Now, you may fill it up, and for maybe the first 30 seconds, it might look like it has water in it. But within those same 30 seconds, the water level's decreasing and decreasing until it's empty. So a fool, from the beginning, he may look like he retained onto some of the knowledge, but he'll be right back to his folly. Give it a day or two. If a skillful man hear a wise word, he will commend it and add on to it. But as soon as one of no understanding heareth it, it displeaseth him, and he casteth it behind his back. And spiritual is the same thing now, right? The elect are likened unto the skillful man who hear this word that's being preached and they commend it, right? And they take heed and they add to it by joining, and giving heed and learning, and some even becoming teachers, right? But it says, but as soon as one of no understanding heareth it, he despiseth it, right? Or he despiseth him, or it displeaseth him. You see that? And he casteth it behind his back. See, they pull the shoulder. They don't want to hear it. They stop their ear. The talking of a fool is like a burden in the way, but grace shall be found in the lips of the wise. When you hear a fool talking, it's like if you were trying to go somewhere and they block the road. You're like, yo, damn, I need this road. I need this cleared. Move. But the grace shall be found in the lips of the wise. Once again, we read up above that their counsel, right, is like a pure fountain of life. So the lips, meaning their words. They inquire at the mouth of the wise in the congregation, and they shall ponder his words in their heart. Yeah. So when people go for counsel or advice, they go to those that are wise, and they ponder, they reason with the words in their heart. They think about it. Think about it. Verse 18, as is a house that is destroyed, so is wisdom to a fool. Yeah, a house that is destroyed is worthless. And likewise, wisdom is worthless to a fool, because it's too high for him. And the knowledge of the unwise is as talk without sense. See that? The knowledge of the unwise is as talk without sense. It's nonsense. That's what you say. Doctrine unto fools is as fetters on the feet, and like manacles on the right hand. See, it's like a restriction, a chain, and they don't like that discipline, and like it tells you concerning wisdom, it won't be long before he casts them off, right? He can't come under the discipline of doctrine or wisdom or knowledge. A fool lifteth up his voice with laughter, but a wise man doth scarce smile a little, and that shows forth, well, once again, what manner of man, a said individual is. Because a fool is just, everything is funny. Everything is always jokes, laughs, and jokes and giggles. But you got to know, right, when to smile, right, when to laugh. Because a wise man, he's always thinking, right. Most of the time he's serious, because he got some serious thoughts on his mind. Oh, that doesn't mean it's wrong to laugh, it's wrong to smile. No, you can go ahead. But a fool always wants a joke. Like every single, even if it's not appropriate for the time, that's what they do. That's what I do. Learning is unto a wise man as an ornament of gold, right? It compliments them, a wise man. It makes them look better. And like a bracelet upon his right arm. A foolish man's foot is soon in his neighbor's house, right? He's always in somebody else's crib. Okay? But a man of experience is ashamed of him. You see that? A man of experience is ashamed of him because it's like, yo, like nobody has to tell you, like, why are you always at somebody else's crib? Like, don't you realize that you're being a burden? Isn't it embarrassing to always show up here and you can sort of see it, right? You can see it in the person's reaction, how they even receive you. A fool will peep in at the door into the house, but he that is well matured will stand without. See, you got a fool that they'll peep into somebody's house, right, through the door. They'll be looking around. Yo, knock, knock, knock. Yo, what's going on? Nah, bro. All right, it says here, a man that's well nurtured, right, well mannered, will stand without. You ring the doorbell, you stand there and you wait, or you call the person, you text the person, you wait. Looking all unruly out there, damn near ready to climb into their window. It is the rudeness of a man to hearken at the door, but a wise man will be grieved with disgrace. Right, reading verse 24. Hearken here is like eavesdropping, right? So it says here, GNTD, eavesdropping at doors is bad manners, and anyone with a sense of decency will be ashamed to do it. The lips of talkers will be telling such things as pertain not onto them, right? Things that are not their business. But what? They're talkers, they're gossipers. They can't keep their mouth shut. But the words of such as have understanding are weighed in the balance. See? Meaning that they think before they speak, those that have understanding. The heart of fools is in their mouth, but the mouth of the wise is in their heart. The heart of fools is in their mouth, meaning that they say whatever comes to mind, right? The heart is the mind. But the mouth of the wise is in their heart. They think about everything before they say it, right? Think about what they're going to say before they say it. When the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul. A whisperer defileth his own soul. Meaning, what that means is that they are likened unto Satan, right? They go in the ways of Satan. So really, when they curse Satan, they curse themselves, right? Because they're following the same works. Or they have the spirit of Satan. A whisperer defileth his own soul, and is hated wheresoever he dwelleth, right? And that's a whisperer is like a gossiper or a slanderer. When you do that, you defile your own soul, right? You ruin your own reputation. Nobody likes you, okay? And you're hated wherever you go. And that brings us to the end of the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 21st chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.